Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Nevin Kay, and I'm here at the Resist Trump campaign. We coach activists to lead lawful, nonviolent civil resistance to Trump and his enablers. I'm here with the Stop the Lies Fox crew. We meet on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, we're just kind of hanging out, and to find, just so you know, to find this call and how to register for it, just click our virtual community event page. And if you want to scan over to February, just click on through and you can find the registration page there. We do require authentication for people, so you do need to be signed into your Zoom application with the same email address that you registered with this with us with. That's just like a little security practice that we do, and we do a few other security practices as well to reduce the number of trolls and to try and encourage a safe and safe space to have conversation. You can donate to our campaign. I'll probably mention that at the end of the call and learn more about us at resisttrump.us. But in today's conversation, we're actually graced with a visitor here, Bart S., who is actually, if I could just stop sharing. Bart S., you want to wave to the crowd? Thanks, Bart. Bart is one of the podcast hosts of Benicia Voice, which is a podcast that's declares itself to be a community-driven platform created to spotlight the voices, stories, and events that shape the town of Benicia, which is in the Bay Area. Bart, I think has produced, let's see, how many episodes have you produced?
Over 157, I think now we're up to 157 episodes or so.
That's brilliant. So they're up to 157, which I love. So Bart was very generous to kind of interact with our campaign and bring the idea that we could really like puncture the media ecosystem that is prevalent across this country by empowering activists like yourselves to develop your own media, right? Your own local media. Um, and I know you're an artist in your own right. How do you like this idea of developing a toolkit for activists to develop their own podcasts?
I think it's a brilliant idea.
Cool. Well, Bart brought it to us, so Bart, that is credit to you.
Thanks.
Um, we are we are going to be covering some questions, guys, that we brainstormed to give to Bart, and Bart's very gracious to be sitting with us here today. Um, what I was thinking about, what way we could do this, guys, is let's just kind of go through the questions. I'll pose the question to Bart, which was the first question, and then maybe he can give an answer, and then maybe you guys can ask follow-up questions around that initial kind of softball, and then we'll move to the next one once everyone's satisfied. Does that give me a thumbs up if that works? Does that work, Ann?
Sounds good.
Good. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Feel
yeah,
free to
that's
introduce
fine.
your. Cool. Feel free
That's
to
fine. If
introduce. Yeah,
I was going to just ask a kind of a foundational question here. Um,
go for it.
you mentioned that this is going to be uploaded to YouTube, so we would be
Yes.
able to watch it. Now, what would be the thing to search to find this channel or this video on YouTube? How would we
That's a
actually?
great question. Yeah, I'll go ahead and screen share again and show you exactly how to find it. I would just go directly to our URL, which is resisttrump.us, Barry, and then I would go to the top right and then hover over the YouTube icon. I would click that if I were you, and then I would go directly to the top video, which shows up at the top of our list. Does that make sense? Did Barry drop?
Yes, it does. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Cool, cool. Yeah, cool. Sorry, I couldn't see all the folks in my windows.
And a quick question for you, Nevin. Would this be private to the group, or is this going to be out there in the
No, this will
out
be
there?
out in the wild, just like our other videos.
Okay. So I'll avoid any. I won't talk about anything that might be secret sauce behind it, because it's
Completely up to you. This is going to be a
yeah. So
publicly shared.
keep it small, just because we don't want some people that may not be friendly
I
to.
mean, it's fine. We're not doing anything unlawful, so
Uh,
like we're
no,
good.
I mean
But
more
it's
more about I don't want them to duplicate it, basically.
I mean,
prevent.
they might, but we're better and we're smarter. I'm not too
Right.
worried about that.
Okay.
But it's up to you, man. All right, so let's go with the first question. I'm gonna stop sharing and just like so we can all have a little bit of a an opportunity to shine. Um, so people first asked, Bart, what equipment do we need?
Podcasting is probably the easiest and least expensive thing you can do. I think even cheaper than postcarding or phone banking even.
Nice, nice. So you don't
Because
need to spend a lot of money on equipment, is what you're saying.
no, I mean we use a Zoom. If you look on Amazon or any place like look on the web, you'll find a Zoom recorder, which is like a actual podcast recording
Okay.
device developed for podcasting, but it's manual. You have to
Oh,
sit
you
in your
use a
room.
physical device. Yeah, but we're
Yeah,
using Riverside on our
right. You can
podcast that we're
use
doing with
so
you.
we
Yeah.
decided to use the physical device because we're sitting around a table together drinking tea and having cookies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we ended up using a Zoom, which because then you can fade things in. So equipment's easy. You can use a physical one called Zoom, which we recommend is just fine. But you can also use Riverside, which is an online platform,
Which is what we use, but we're more remote
yeah,
than
yep,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's actually got a free version, which I think allows for a couple of hours of podcasting a month. If I looked at it right, it might have a
yeah,
watermark on it, but
yeah,
still very, very, very accessible. I mean, the
yeah.
Zoom equipment costs less than $300, and you
Nice.
never
And
have to buy anything again.
Riverside's like literally what like how much is Riverside? Like it's like probably $19 a month or something like that.
Yeah, to do, and it has all these incredible features, which I think is kind of like too much features. Some, not too
Yeah.
much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You could do a
Yeah.
lot with it that makes it a grounded podcast, a more real podcast is just a
Yeah.
live recording,
Yeah.
kind of like this we're talking now. So
And
very
so would
cheap.
you say,
Yeah.
yeah, would you say, Bart, that like the two options are either to get a Zoom which is kind of confusing because it's not the same as Zoom that we're using to record this call.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
It's a physical device. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, physical mixer has a little mixing, like you're looking
Yeah.
at a music
Yeah.
mixer with little sliders,
And
and it's very cheap.
that would be for people who are meeting in person. So maybe locally
Yeah.
if you wanted to like do it in your living room or something like that. But
Yeah.
if you got a friend across town, maybe Riverside, which is working for us, would be
Yep.
the alternative to the
I think it's a
same
great.
kind of
I think
mixing approach.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
used because they're both creating files, and those files can be
Yeah.
uploaded to any platform eventually, right? So yeah, as
Yeah.
a matter of fact, you can even bring a handheld Zoom down to a protest, for example, might be a great way to bring a Zoom
Nice.
recorder right there and do an
Nice.
on live recording.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice. And did you have a question?
Oh, are you asking me? I
I
was just
am.
going to say the Zoom recorders, because my blind friend has one. They're $100. They're little tiny devices. Also, I think a Tascam something 40, which is also a handheld device. It's a little bigger than a Zoom recorder, but both of those would accomplish the same thing. You're recording the voice. You have a little mixer that's within the tiny device. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
If I were to Google this equipment, would it just literally be Zoom
yeah,
recorder? Is that what we're talking about?
type in Zoom podcast recorder, and you'll see it. And there'll be various models, right? You can get. And I like the Zoom because it's designed. I know what Anna's saying, but this is really designed for
Yeah.
podcasting. So everything's there. You even got clap
Yeah.
tracks and all kinds of fun little
Yeah.
things.
I don't want to scare people off to think that they have to do this. So
Yeah, they don't
do
have to,
keep
but
in mind
it's nice.
that another service that you can do for mixing is something called Riverside, and we're not getting paid to promote them,
Yes.
but we've been hearing from people from a number of people that Riverside is good, and we're trying to master it for the podcast that we just released on this campaign. And it's been quite
Mhm.
helpful, but also like somewhat challenging. And so we're trying to figure out if we need to provide to the community and even for ourselves, like a volunteer crop of sound engineers who can kind of slot in their skill set, because it is a little bit tricky for the average user. I think personally, I think it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, Nevin, the way to describe it is we can even use this Zoom kind of, even our Zoom platform here, right? The Zoom platform here can be used to record stuff, right? Record people discussing topics like we're doing now.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of cool. So yeah, that this part is it's really kind of it can be a little trickier, especially if you're trying to add music and things like that to make it more, more spiffy, right?
Yeah. So some options we've got for physical or in-person
Yeah.
recording or remote recording. I think we've established. There may be some other options, but I feel like we've got some answers there. Do we have any questions from the audience today or from the participants in the call? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah, hi, this is Marianne.
Hey.
I think it's a great idea. What I especially liked was the one that you can take to a protest.
Yeah.
I
Why is
think
that?
Amy was talking to that because then we could do a lot of stuff live and really show how all of us are really actively participating and not giving up and staying
Yep.
strong. Yeah. Thank you, Ann, for
Okay,
that.
I
Um,
do have a question too.
Go for
Um,
it.
and excuse me if I'm getting ahead of the curve here. But you'll probably be talking about it. I'm curious about how what good ways are to publicize this, distribute it, get a wide audience for it.
Cool. No, let me
Again,
add that
yeah.
question to the list. So like um how to publicize your podcast, I guess is your question.
Yes, and how to get a wide audience so that we can grow, grow our personal podcast audience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, not to mention everybody else's at the same time.
Yeah, so let's jump into that question. It looks like that's what's kind of on the top of our activist mind. So, Bart, do you have any thoughts about that? How to publicize your podcast and get a wide audience?
Yeah, it's not that hard actually. For the community side, we just use Nextdoor and Facebook. And then we also walk around town and talk to people like restaurant. We have a bunch of sponsors now for our local podcast. And so those sponsors pass our name out. We have business cards. It's pretty grassroots. It's pretty easy actually. I think from a from a local point of view. I think nationally it's the usual problem of anybody advertising. You have to, put in some kind of put it on more of a like Twitter or national blog, you know what I mean? Places where there's more national discussion going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like any like promoting anything, you have to just do it the normal marketing channels, I would say.
Yeah, I
Uh,
would say
You
so
know,
too. I
you
mean, because we have our own like podcast that we're trying to make national or even global. Sorry, Barry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, you can put it up there, but it's up there amongst, a million other sites and so forth. So, there's no easy answer to this, of course, but
yeah, I mean, yeah.
like you say, Nextdoor and some of these local places are easier because there's a more of a smaller focused market, marketing they call
Yeah.
target marketing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of podcasts out there. I mean, but mostly named for people like Mel Robbins or whatever. There's different ones right out there, and that's true. It's hard to get them out. This just takes time. It's the
Yeah.
usual thing of just marketing, and eventually you'll build an audience as you develop it. It grows. It's surprising how even the small podcast can start to grow just from word of mouth.
Let's go to
Yeah.
Yuko. Yuko, you have a question?
yeah, what's the difference between this and just videotaping it on your phone?
What's the
Um,
difference between this and Bart, please?
Yeah, so anything can work. Any capture device that you can videotape on your phone is also recording. You can use that phone as well. It's just the output file has to go somewhere to get distributed. That's all. It's like YouTube or anything. You just can record it. Yeah, so you can
Okay,
literally use your phone, Nevin, to actually do. I didn't think about that. For a single-ended response, you can be talking on your phone and hold the phone up to somebody and say, "What do you
exactly.
think?" And you can both talk on the phone together at the same time. So that's probably the
Nice.
most basic podcast recording equipment around. Is your
Yeah,
Nice.
own phone.
using the voice messaging app.
Or even your own video. It doesn't anything to record. Video, a message, good idea. Yeah, video app works. Any video or messaging app works great.
Okay,
And
good. Thank you.
I don't want to get too far ahead of the curve again. I was just watching um, an Indivisible, I think it was a video yesterday, um, and they were talking about documenting, what you may see if you see any,
Yeah.
crimes being committed by ICE. And one
Yeah.
of the things they recommended is that, you know, after you record something, copy it onto another device so that it can't be um, totally stolen if someone takes your device.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
in a similar vein, if you copy it or when you copy it, don't change the file name, don't change anything. That way, it's as unadulterated as possible for
Huh.
your documentation purposes.
Got it. So once you copy to another device, don't change the file name or otherwise adulterate the file, the digital file. Nice.
If your iPhone, if you have an iPhone or any other type of phone, there are cloud saving mechanisms. Like my iPhone is hooked up to the iCloud, so it automatically anything I videotape, anything I put on my voice memos, record on my voice memos, that all goes up to the cloud and saves it automatically.
Mine does the same thing. Exactly.
Yeah, so storage, storage on the whoops, storage on the cloud may be easier than local storage, easier and more effective than local storage. How's that? All right. What app do we podcast on? Let's not like put it all on Bart. Let's try and guess. What so which platforms would you guys want to podcast on, guys?
Not TikTok,
Okay, why is that?
because I think there's a little skepticism now about the new owners of TikTok
Okay.
and Larry Ellison's affiliation with Trump, and the fact that I think it was yesterday or the day before when people tried to post anything about the Minnesota shootings or about ICE or Epstein, they couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
there's some skepticism about how really unbiased TikTok is right now. I think we have
Yeah.
to wait and see, but
Well, we gotta raise our voices. We don't just have to wait and see. We have to tell them not to do that shit. No offense, and sorry I cursed. Right?
yes, we do.
I mean, we have to get off of TikTok, and we have to punish them for what
Well,
they're doing.
there's also a thought about that too. TikTok is whether or not it, I mean, it reaches a lot of people that don't know of the what's going on behind the scene at TikTok, right? So it also, unfortunately, we're all tied into some of these things that are not the greatest, led by the greatest people. So it's
Oh
Let's
sort
go
of
to
my
like,
Mary
goodness
Ann.
ears.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
hard, right?
let's go to Mary Ann. Mary Ann, what do you think?
I don't use TikTok mainly because China does own it, bottom line. And it's like a rental right now over
No, they
to,
just got they just got transferred, right? Their ownership got transferred to Larry Ellison and a group of investors, I think. I don't think it's
I,
China anymore.
you
No,
sure? What?
Ch-
Say it again. Say it again.
China China has a 19% ownership of it. The other
19?
19%. And
Okay.
this new group is Larry Ellison and a group from Abu Dhabi and
Yeah.
another group.
Yeah, that doesn't sit well with me at all. I also had heard, I think last night, maybe the night before, that they're collecting everything on us, just everything. So I
And
don't,
it occurred again.
Are they gonna
I
are they
This
are
is
they,
a
are they gonna
basic.
collect
Are you?
are they gonna collect my hair? The hair off my head?
yeah, yeah, they've got this new device that it's virtual hair cutting. Absolutely. But I mean, they're real. I'm not a TikTok person, so I'm not going to go on it. That's it.
Okay. Okay. How about where do we podcast, guys? Where do we podcast? Where else? Where do you find your podcast?
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I use
What are you?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Apple,
Mm-hmm.
Apple Podcast.
So Spotify, are we back on Spotify? I mean, I already dropped Spotify, and after that, they actually dropped Ice, but I haven't gotten back on Spotify. But our podcast is now published on Spotify. But I personally am not a Spotify subscriber for music. How do you guys feel about Spotify?
I think I think since they did what we asked, they should be rewarded with um, the same thing that punished them, which is the subscriptions.
Okay. Does anyone agree with that? Do you see some nodding? Okay, so we're gonna
Yes.
Spotify's back in our good graces. Yeah, we our podcast goes on all three of those platforms. But yeah, I mean maybe you want to do the same. I prefer YouTube out of all of them the most. I like YouTube's interface. How do
Ditto.
you yeah. No, go ahead. We're not in a rush. We could do this, over two episodes. We're all good. We actually got through a lot of questions. We can even stop now. What do you guys want to do?
I keep going.
Keep going. Do you guys want to keep going?
Yeah, because
I'm
I'm
good.
learning. Hmm.
Keep going.
Okay.
This is good. This is
Yeah.
great.
Okay, cool. How do you advertise and get the word out about the podcast? I think we actually covered that in Barry's question. Let's go to the next one. Which strategies are helpful from small to large? Any thoughts on that, Barry, Bart?
Are they talking about strategies for building a nationwide or local?
I
What's
don't
that
know.
mean?
It might be. Yeah, it might be like local versus national. And we're doing national, and you've done local already successfully. Maybe we can just explore that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, okay, here, let me give you some keys. Local, I think local is good for that because it's a cohesive community, right? It's a kind of built-in community.
Yeah,
And so when you do a local podcast, whether it's a school or your town or whatever, you basically have a built you have people there that kind of know the podcast name or whatever the thing is, right? That's local. When you're
yeah.
national, they don't know who you are, so you're just another name in the sea of podcasts out there. So it's a little harder to get yourself known in that space, like we talked about earlier, right?
I
To
think it's
set
just a
yourself
different
apart.
strategy. I think it's just,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's just different. I think like a lot, and if you're doing national, it's a lot of,
yeah.
building relationships with people like, over email and stuff. But like maybe locals like actually shaking hands and like walking around. I don't know.
Yeah, it really is like locals like walk in your local restaurants to talk to the owners, that kind of thing. It's really, really,
Yeah,
really grassroots in that regard. Yep.
yeah. That's cool. Anyone else have any questions about that or any thoughts about that?
I would like to, this is Marianne, I would like to possibly ask, not to, to ask Barry to possibly think about giving us like a 10-minute in-service, just a little more pointed so I could actually physically take notes on what you did to get yourself up and around via Nextdoor. Okay,
Oh,
Hmm.
because
it's so easy. It's so
yeah, but
easy.
your
Just
podcast was easy
yeah,
to get
literally, yeah.
going.
You literally just put the podcast, gave it an email, email address. Every business needs an email address, right? Just put
Yeah.
an email address like, Benicia Voice at yahoo.com, whatever it is. And
Mm.
then got on Nextdoor. And now Nextdoor, you have to qualify to be in Nextdoor, right? You have to be a local.
Yeah,
So
I'm
then,
a local.
so
Yeah.
we were qualified for that. And so
Okay.
then we just started, and you can look them up on Nextdoor if you were able to get in Benicia. It's just Benicia Voice released a new podcast. And I put in the summary of the community, that podcast, and put that in there with a link. That's it. And
Oh,
now
so
Nice.
we
you
have
just like
now
you
we have so
posted it like a post,
yeah,
like
just
when
regular post, and
oh,
and then
cool.
suddenly we have like thousands of followers now. So
That's awesome.
it's
That's super
crazy.
awesome.
And
That's
comments
super
come
awesome.
in. It's just, I mean, that's how simple it is. Basically, post on Facebook too. Just boop. You know, that's it.
So
Bert, I've got
for
a
Claire,
question for
sorry,
you.
go ahead.
Um, so Bert, you're in Benicia. I'm in Sonoma County. I don't know where everybody else is, but since Bert seems to have a lot
Bart.
of
Bart, Bart.
information since he's done it, um, I don't know how to get in touch with Bert personally, but
It's
I
Bart.
kind
It's
of like
Bart.
to
Sorry, Barry. It's Bart.
Bart,
B-A-R-T. Yeah.
Bart,
Yeah, let me give you
Bart.
my
Sorry.
I can do it can I do it in the chat? The chat won't be recorded, right? Is the chat recorded?
No, it will not. It will not be recorded.
So
You can put your email in the chat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, please call me. Call me, email me. Call's good. Because
Hey,
calling is
Alice,
more
Alice, what do you think about what you're hearing? How is it going on your side? Do you like what you're hearing?
Uh, sure.
This call is going in an interesting
Hey,
direction, don't you think?
yeah, and I gotta say one thing. I can't tell you people how fun it is to do this. This is the most, of all the things to do for democracy, I feel like I'm having so much fun with this because we'll bring in the mayor. You know what I mean? It's really fun, and we talk about stuff, topics. It's just amazing to me how fun
Yeah,
this is.
that's great. No, it's that's
Yeah,
what democracy is. It's about
yeah.
talking and discussing what kind of world we want, right? And how to like build it together and how to debate and how to disagree effectively and stuff. And like talking to people is good. It's good, right? I think that's what we're supposed to do.
I mean, it's been the most pleasant. It's the most pleasant way to talk to people I've ever had in terms, and our audience too talks to us through their comments, right? They contact us.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that last episode. We learned so much. And
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I
And
sound like jubilant, but I am. It surprises me sometimes how funny this is. Pretty great.
So Barry, I'm sorry, not Barry, Bart.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself able to rally up some of the listeners or participators to go to a protest? The other
Yes,
podcast, that
yes.
would be fun. Yeah.
Okay, so I think of this, and I mentioned Nevin. I think of the podcast
Yeah.
as kind of like a persistent protest.
Huh.
Oh, oh,
It's everlasting. If you go back to our webpage and look at our previous shows, you'll see what I mean. If you look through the
okay.
shows,
Okay.
all the discussions are there. We've even done like, believe it or not, we thought it'd be fun to do our own candidate forums
Yeah.
online.
Oh,
Amazing,
oh,
right? We had all the different candidates from all the parties come in and we talked to all of them.
oh,
So we're not partisan, so we didn't bring it in as a way to directly we're doing a Democrat versus Republican, you know what I mean? But a real
yeah.
Yeah.
discussion, and we'd ask them questions. How are you going to help the sewer system? How are you going to,
Yeah, it's
Mm,
smart. It's
mm.
smart. It's getting them on record. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I'd
so
like
could
to
and it was
say something
fun.
too about
Sorry, go ahead, Barry.
Go ahead, Barry.
Oh, we lost Barry. I think his audio is a little weak. Alice, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that um, that would be a great service in any locality because it's daunting when you look at all the offices, the public offices that service an area,
Yeah. Oh,
and knowing anything about the people
yes,
is
I want to mention that we've had many officials come online. We've had our city manager come on. We've had even our local city council
But you
members
need to
come
build
on.
up the influence of your podcast before they take you seriously. And maybe you start locally with restaurants and like, little things if you're doing the
Um,
local strategy or something like that.
well, you'd be surprised, Devin. We just asked them when we were starting up. We actually had it before we started. There were some of the candidates coming up. We just asked, "Would you mind coming on a local podcast?" They said yes. It was
Yeah.
surprisingly easy to bring them
Yeah.
on, and
That's good.
some of the members, it was like, okay, sure.
Guys, I think because we have so many other questions, I think we should pick up the other half next week or maybe the week after that. Would that be all right if we just kind of stop the recording and then kind of debrief a little bit?
Sounds.
sure.
Sounds
Yep.
good.
If Bart can come back.
Oh, I'm
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm here,
Can
and
you
also
come back, Bart?
I can come back, and I also want to be part of that debrief as well. I have some
Oh,
things.
heck yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
Let me go ahead, share again. Okay, guys. So, thanks again for the folks on YouTube. We coach activists to lead lawful, nonviolent civil resistance to Trump and his enablers. You can help us do more of these calls, multiply our capacity to run these public mini campaigns by donating to us, which will help us pay for the kinds of things and activities that help deliver these services to activists on the front lines of the pro-democracy movement in the United States today. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Bart, for joining us as our kind of expert in residence or expert on the call. Appreciate you. And thanks everyone on the call for joining as well. I'm going to stop the call now. Thank you.